Kuala Lumpur. It was called a drug rehabilitation center, but it turned out to be more like an abusive detention center, according to findings by the Human Rights Commission of Malaysia, Suhakam. Its probe showed that inmates as young as 10 were made to eat rice with salt, fed just once a day and only allowed to sleep for between 2 and 3 hours a day. The 4 children at the center, who have since been rescued, were also not allowed to go to school. Those who broke the rules were handed down commando-style punishments by the trainers, some of whom are on the police wanted list, said Suhakam. What's worse, the victims' families paid the center for this rehabilitation. These were among the human rights violations found by Suhakam after its investigation into the rehabilitation center in Bukit Beruntung in Selangor. It started investigations in June after complaints by trainees who escaped from the center. Suhakam has recommended that a special committee be set up to oversee the operation of private rehabilitation centers after the abuse at the center was revealed. There were 52 trainees between the ages of 10 and 54, and they claimed to be fed only once a day and sometimes given rice with salt. They were allowed to sleep between 2 and 3 hours a day and told to perform 100 rakat of sunat prayers daily, Suhakam Commissioner Professor Datuk Noor Azhia Mohd Awal said. The center had claimed to use religious teachings for its rehabilitation programs for drug addicts and those with social problems. It was found that the center was illegally conducting rehabilitation programs according to the Drug Dependence, Treatment and Rehabilitation Act 1983 and the Mental Health Act 2001. According to the center, it has 4 modules which consist of preaching, reading a selection of hadith, zakir, hafizan, and others. The program might seem normal, but our investigations showed the trainees were deprived of sleep due to the intense activities. Some were given commando-style punishment, Professor Noor Azhia told a press conference yesterday. She said Suhakam's investigations in June included monitoring visits, recording statements from 33 witnesses, a compilation of 49 exhibits, and discussions with relevant agencies. According to the program plans, the module should only last for 6 months with the trainees allowed to leave at the end of the session, but there are trainees who have been held there for more than 4 years. The families paid monthly fees of Rm600. During family visits, the trainees were prevented from reporting the mistreatment to their families. If they did, they would be punished. We also found that the center was secured using a padlock. Even during our interviews with the trainees, we were locked inside with them. The trainers claimed it was routine, she said, adding that the center's activities violated Article 5 and Article 8 of the Federal Constitution and Article 3 to Article 7 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Noor Azhia added that the female dormitory, housing 12 trainees, had a zinc wall and was shielded from view using thick curtains. She said the center's treatment and rehabilitation programs for the 4 minors were not in compliance with the Care Centers Act 1993. The center's care and rehabilitation programs for the minors are in conflict with the Children Act 2001. The children were not sent to school. Section 29A, 2, of the Education Act 1996 says attendance for primary education is compulsory, she said, adding that the children have now been placed with the Social Welfare Department. Suhakam revealed that police also found out that some trainers were on the police wanted list, and that the registration of one of the premises had expired. The allegations of abuse first surfaced in May, but it is believed the center had refuted the claims. Attempts have been made by the Star to seek clarification from the center. Following Suhakam's investigation, Professor Noor Azhia also outlined recommendations for the authorities to continue its investigations. The Social Welfare Department and Selangor Islamic Religious Council must review the registration and operation of the center. Relevant agencies such as the Social Welfare Department, the Islamic Religious Council and the National Anti-Drugs Agency have to review the registration status of all such centers and monitor other registered rehabilitation centers. Professor Noor Azhia also urged the government to establish a special committee comprising various government agencies to develop policies on the operation of private rehabilitation centers. She also called on the public to share information and report human rights violations in any such care centers.